It's noon 01 here in Ventnor City, New Jersey, and our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And this is CarEdge Live for Friday, October 24th, Dara and Zach's 4th wedding anniversary. Not the Zach you see on screen, and because he's not married, ladies and gentlemen. With your hosts, me, Ray, here in Ventnor City, New Jersey, and Zach hanging out in D.C. or Savannah, Georgia, or somewhere.
I'm in DC. You know I'm in DC. And yeah, you have to clarify. My sister's name is Dara. Her husband is named Zach. I am not. We're not even going to entertain the idea that I'm married to my sister. Love her dearly, but no. Dad, today's show is brought to you by us, CarEdge.com. Folks, we continue to be running. It lasts for the remainder of this month. Our $300 off car buying service and 30% off CarEdge Pro promotion back at CarEdge.com. The topic of today's show, Dad, we're going to be talking about 60 days ago, we told people to wait 30 days ago, we told people to wait 60 days before they wanted to buy a car. Today, Dad, I'm going to double down. We're going to tell people they should wait 30 more days before they buy a car, and I'll see if you agree. The data that I want to reference to help drive this conversation is dealer profitability and when is the best time to buy a car? You and I have been talking about this for years. We've got guides all over the CarEdge website that explain the best time to buy a car. Let's start there, and then we'll look at the dealer profitability. Let's talk about the best time to buy a car. End of month is what we've got here. Wednesdays during the week. December means deals. Help us understand, Dad, the best time to buy a new or used car.
As I explained to my brother once, the best time to buy a new car is on February 28th in the middle of a blizzard. Okay, but the likelihood of those occurrences happening at the same time are pretty damn remote. So the best time to buy a car is typically the end of a month, the end of a quarter, or the absolute best time to buy a car when dealers are motivated the most and manufacturers are motivated the most is the last month of the year, in particular the last week of the year. So assuming that what has happened historically in the past will continue to happen moving into the future, then yes, it makes sense to wait 30 to 45 days before you start to buy in a car.
And I think that's the operative word, right? Start. So if you're a do-it-yourselfer, if you're someone who's going to roll up your sleeves and do all of the work, it's not like you wake up on Monday and you buy the car on Monday. Typically, if you want to get yourself the best possible deal, there's a lot of work that gets involved here that you have to do. And so starting the car buying process, I mean, for many people, Dad, it's a month-long endeavor, locating the car, contacting the dealerships, beating your head up against the wall to get the out the door price quote, negotiating the price down. Finally, if you got a trade and you have to negotiate that. So I think, to your point, 30 to 45 days from now, because again, it was 30 days ago that we had a live stream go out. I'll pull it up on the screen, actually. Give me a second here. Wait for it.
I can honestly say I don't remember. But then again, I'm 74 and I'm not supposed to remember as well as I could when I was a kid.
It's right here, Dad. 1 month ago.
Yes.
Wait 60 days to buy a car. I was in Arizona. You were wearing green and blue. We look nice, you and I.
Yeah.
And now it's 30 days later. And I think we are spot on. Wait another 30 to 45 days to start your car buying process. That being said,
yes,
you can still take advantage of our promotions for the services we offer today and, implement it in a month or two. But also start doing your research today. Figure out what cars you can afford today. Figure out what's going to be a good fit for you. Go get the test drives done today because the ultimate leverage is right around the corner. And Dad, we've been talking about it all week long. It seems like for the first time in a long time, we have a buyer's market instead of a seller's market. This chart, car dealership guy tweeted this out or X'd it out or whatever. He did something to it.
Yeah.
What you're looking at here is average car dealership gross profit per vehicle. The white line is new vehicles, and we've got from 2019 through Q3 of 2025. Look at the gross profit, how much money these dealers are making per new vehicle sold. Before the pandemic, it was around $1,500. During the pandemic, it got up to $4,600. Okay, it went up 3x. Where are we back down to? $1,840. That is good, demonstrable evidence that we're in more of a buyer's market than a seller's market. Used vehicle gross profit is actually down back to where it previously was at $1,300. They're making more money on F&I, finance and insurance products. So obviously let us help you navigate that part of the process, know what to negotiate there. But Dad, this chart shows you if you wait those 30 days, you've got more leverage this year than you certainly did back in 2021, 2022, 2023, or even last year in 2024.
Yeah, and what's really interesting about this chart is there was a comment yesterday or the day before in regards to when we were talking about AutoNation's earnings.
Yeah.
And how their earnings were up, yet their gross profit per new vehicle sold and used vehicle sold were down.
Yeah.
And the comment was, well, how can all that be down and they're making more money than ever? Well, one of the ways, and they make more than this national average, the national average at new car dealerships today or franchise dealerships today is $1,666 that a profit that is made through the finance and insurance department. And that's the department where you go in to sign and complete all the paperwork for your transaction.
That's the loan, that's the warranty, that's the
the dent and ding, the tire and wheel, the lost key fob, whatever it is, the gap insurance, whatever they can think of selling you.
The friends and family advantage packet. Yeah, the list goes on.
It's all getting sold in there. And so the average profit nationally in F&I is $1,666. At AutoNation, it is, I believe, in the mid to upper twos. Okay, so it's $2,500, $2,600 per car sold. And then the other area that people forget about that dealerships do not, and that's parts and service. And I guarantee you, if you look deeply into the numbers at AutoNation or any of these dealer groups, they're making huge money in parts and service. So
for sure, Pops.
So if you're trying to time things so that you can get a deal where you're allowing them to make less gross profit than they had been, you are heading into that time of year. And we can see from that chart that average profits per new car and used car are down significantly.
Yeah, so regardless of the fact that these car dealership groups make a ton of money in parts and service, today the message is very clear for our community. If you can continue to wait, as we are in the fourth quarter here, again, this is like the challenge of our business, Dad. We're running a promo. I want people to sign up for our services. I really, really do. It helps our business have a good, strong end of the month and everything like that. But folks, if you are looking for the absolute bottom dollar best deal, you got to wait until the end of the year. It takes about a month to go through the process if you're doing it on your own to buy a car. And you can look at this chart. It's a buyer's market, not a seller's market. So the news is good for our community. I think that message needs to come through clearly, regardless of the fact that car dealership groups are making more money than ever before on parts and service. Whatever. You know what? We'll do a different channel in the future, maybe that, how to save money when you own a car. But this is a really good sign for our community. And again, I encourage everyone to take advantage of the different specials that we offer back at CarEdge.com and as you're doing your research as well. But the message is clear. Q4 here is a buyer's market, and the absolute best time to take advantage of that is as we head into the end of the year, end of the last month. And I think Igor's got a great comment here in the chat, Ted. Never go in on the weekends because that's when it's busy.
Yes.
Monday, Tuesday, and I think we really recommend Wednesday. Wednesday is a dead day at the dealership.
I remember working as a closer at a dealership in Mesa, Arizona. And, we used to work shifts. It was 8 to 9 or 8 to 8. It was a long ass day. An LAD, a long ass day.
Yep.
And I remember that we never seemed to sell cars in the morning for whatever reason. People don't get up, brush their teeth, have a cup of coffee and say, hey, I'm going to go buy a car today. They just don't. Okay. At least not Monday through Friday. And then Wednesdays were like the slowest day. It was like, we could have showed up at noon and we wouldn't have missed anybody. So there are days during the week where it's slower than other days. The busiest day is Saturday. That's the last day you want to go in to try and buy a car, because I've worked with salespeople that have sold 3 or 4 cars on a busy Saturday, where they're juggling customers at the same time, and they're really good, at juggling them and not dropping any of them. Okay, so the point is, try and figure out times that are slow at the dealership where it would be encouraging for a salesperson and a sales manager to get a deal done by 10 o'clock in the morning. Show up on I came up with the idea to encourage people to buy between 9 a.m. and noon, that we should offer them additional discounts in the form of dollars that could be utilized as a credit within the dealership for parts and service. Anything to try and improve business during the week from 9 to noon. It was, trust me, you could have shot off a cannon, and in a lot of cases you wouldn't even have hit a car, let alone a person.
All right, Dad, let's switch gears here. Now, we are starting a new Friday portion of our programming. If you're not on the CarEdge community forum, you should be.
Yes.
Every single week, we're going to be doing a Q&A here on Friday. So there are a bunch of questions posted over, Dad, on the CarEdge community forum that you and I are going to jump through here in just a moment. Before we do, a couple questions and comments have come through on the chat, so let's pull those up quickly. But then we're going to focus on those that have been posted over on the community forum. From Michael, however, first, is it true there's about to be a huge crash? And if so, should I cash in on the $6,000 trade value my car currently has in order to upgrade on a brand new Camry? This is the interesting dynamic of all the advice we give. All the advice we give, all the market analysis, is there are typically, for most people, 3 components of their car deal. There's the price of the car that they're buying, which is what we counsel everyone to negotiate the out-the-door price. There's usually the price of the car they're selling. A lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people have a trade-in.
Yes.
How do you maximize the value of your trade-in? And then there's the interest rate on the financing, because most people finance the purchase of their vehicle. How do you time all 3 of those pieces? So, Dad, if you're Michael, and we just said wait 30 days to buy your next new car, we know, Dad, that wholesale values and retail values for used vehicles are going down, which would indicate that you would see trade-in values going down. So talk to me here. Talk to Michael here. How do you approach those 3 aspects, especially when you're in a position now where you know your trade-in's worth more than what you owe on it?
Well, let's start by first saying that I don't think there's going to be a huge crash. Okay?
Crash in the prices of cars.
Yeah, we have seen over the course of time that new car prices keep going up, and ultimately that impacts used car prices, because there's always going to be a spread between new and used. So do we see a correction? Do we see prices going down? Do we see yes. Does that translate into a crash? Not at the moment. If we continue to see frailty in the credit markets, and what I mean by that is more and more loan companies going out of business, going bankrupt, major lenders increasing their loan loss provisions because they're expecting fewer and fewer of their customers to actually be able to pay for the loans that they have at the moment. If that were to happen, if that were to get worse, then at some point there could be a crash similar to 2008, but I would not expect that at the moment. So
I would say, Dad, that there's caveats to that, because the first question that we're going to end up looking at over on the community forum comes from a community member that's reminding us that Jeep year over year just discounted the selling price of their Grand Wagoneer by $25,000. $25,000 price drop year over year does create a crash for the values of Jeep Grand Wagoneers. That being said, Michael is buying a brand new Toyota Camry. Do we anticipate seeing a crash in brand new Toyota Camry prices? No, Toyota is the brand that has the lowest days supply, meaning least negotiability. That being said, can you still score over $1,000 off from the dealer? 100%. Just gonna take some work.
Yes, but that's not going to, that's Camry prices are not going to crash. Toyota prices are not going to crash. If what you're looking to do, Michael, is purchase a vehicle that will be incoming, and let's say as opposed to one that's already on the ground, and you have $6,000 worth of trade equity now or trade value now. If you're looking at an incoming vehicle, negotiate the price of the incoming vehicle, okay, to whatever it is you can agree upon. Negotiate the value of your trade as to what it's worth today. And you can do what's known as a pre-trade if you're in that position, where you trade the car for the value that's associated with it today, as opposed to hoping that it's still going to be worth that 45 days from now. Because as time goes on, the value of your car is going down, it's not going up. So if you can afford to do it, if you have other means of or modes of transportation, you can do a pre-trade at an agreed upon number today, so that you can be guaranteed you're going to get the maximum value for your trade when that new car comes in. If you are looking to buy the car on the spot, well, the value of your car is only going to go down between now and the end of the year. You have to weigh what the additional savings might be on that Camry against what the continued depreciation would be on your trade.
My advice here is fairly straightforward. Go do the deal now. I don't think you're going to see a meaningful difference in what a Camry price will be between now and the end of the year. I do think you could see a meaningful difference in the value of your trade-in between now and the end of the year. And the reason I say that, and say that with some level of conviction, Dad, is because I think the volatility of the new car market for Toyotas is not that high. I think the volatility for used car prices, from all the data we see, is quite high. And to give some context here are the recent Toyota deals that our concierge team has been able to accomplish. So just for some pressure testing here, okay? Toyota RAV4, this was in Florida, $2,100 savings off of MSRP. Toyota Tundra, we know you can get a Tundra significantly below MSRP. Dad, look how recent this was. This was today.
Okay.
$6,200.
Yeah.
Highlander out in California, not as much negotiability, only $1,000 off. Sequoia, $2,500 off. Camry, here's a Camry, California, $1,500 off. I would debate, what is it, dollars to donuts? Isn't that the same?
Yes, that's the same.
I think Michael can get the same $1,500 off, but I don't know if his trade-in is going to be worth the same amount 30 days from now. So I take the deal today.
It will not, and that's what I was saying. If your trade goes down $300, do you think you'll be able to get an extra $300 off on the Camry? My suspicion would be not, but the possibility. You're trying to maximize, and sometimes it's better to trade just before you hit peak value than to trade after you've passed peak value.
Of course,
because it's hard to time it perfectly. And I agree with you. If you can find a deal today and you like it, then buy the damn thing. And that would be advice that I would give to anybody, whether it be on a new car or a used car. We say wait 30 days. If it's a used car, the same used car might not be there in 30 days or 45 days. And if it's a well-run dealership, it won't be there. So if you can find a car that you like today at a price point that is acceptable to you, then just buy the damn thing and quit beating yourself up over trying to maximize to every penny the amount of discount you're going to get. Because if you wait, you could end up missing altogether.
Let's do the Q&A from the community forum, Pops. First one we got here.
Yes.
I want to talk about Thursday the 16th show about Jeep Grand Wagoneer. We talked about that back on Thursday on the 16th. Excuse me.
Yes.
Jeep has cut the price by $25,000, but is still one of the least reliable vehicles on the market. Jeep has to greatly improve the quality of their vehicles before I would consider buying one of them. Yeah, I think that's spot on.
Yeah, absolutely. So by cutting the price of those Jeeps that we're talking about, it is akin to putting lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig. Okay, I get it. So that maybe they'd have to cut the price $50,000 for the quality of the vehicle that they're asking you to purchase. I don't know, but they are moving in the right direction in trying to make their vehicles more affordable than they had been.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's a good vehicle, I think we can all agree that there has been quality issues with a lot of the Stellantis products for a very long time.
Let's keep moving here, Pops. I'll keep scrolling down from Jim. I'm looking for a new mid-sized SUV hybrid sport model. The two I see highly recommended are the Honda CR-V and the Toyota RAV4. 3 questions, Pops.
Yes.
Do you agree about these 2 models? Should I get the 2026 or 2025? Do you have a recommendation of either of these or something else I should look at? Mid-sized SUV hybrid powertrain.
One vehicle that I would add to that list would be a Mazda CX-50. That's sort of mid-sizes. And the hybrid system that it utilizes is Toyota's hybrid system. So that's another vehicle that I would consider. I don't think you could go wrong with any of those vehicles. We know there's a certain level of reliability associated with most Asian brands, not all, but most. And so I would think on the Honda, the Toyota, or even the Mazda, you would be okay.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. And I'm just pulling up over here, folks, just our depreciation or resale values data back on CarEdge.com. Just went to research and then clicked on resale value ranks, depreciation ranks. We know Toyota has the best resale values. Ram with some of those heavy-duty pickup trucks end up there, but Honda and Mazda. So, I mean, you're looking at the brands that have the best resale values for perspective here. And I can go down and I can see specific vehicles as well. Or if I hit back, I can click on insurance rankings, for example. Which brands are going to be cheapest to insure? Mazda, Honda. Not seeing Toyota in the top 5 there. So I would spend a minute and look and do some of this research as well to help inform that decision. But yeah, I agree with you completely, Dad. The CX-50 would be the other one to get on that list. For 2025 versus 2026, Got Rice has some good info here. For Honda, the 2026 CR-Vs have been on dealer lots already. The 2025s are still being sold at Toyota, and there hasn't been a big push for the 2026s yet. So that's where using the car search to do some analysis is going to be really helpful as well. So I'll jump back over here, click on Shop New. Let's just take a peek at that really quickly. So we're talking about a Toyota
RAV4.
Thank you, Pops.
Hybrid.
Yep, I'll grab the hybrid powertrain under engine and drivetrain, hybrid. Okay, so then if I go year here, let's see, how many 20, yeah, I don't even have any 26s. You see that? Aren't even any 26s, just 2025s. Now let's flip over, let's get rid of that. Let's change Toyota to Honda. And we're talking, what was it, CR-V?
CR-V.
And then let's go again, engine and drivetrain, hybrid. So we got more inventory over at Honda, 35,000. And 33,000 of them. So yeah, you're either going to do, if you don't look at the Mazda, you're either going to do a 2026 Honda CR-V, or you're going to do a 2025 RAV4, or you're going to pull the Mazda into the mix and look at that as well. But that shows you perfectly. Got Rice, thank you so much back on the community forum for this comment. Yeah, you're not going to find a 26 RAV4 right now.
There you have it.
Let's keep going here, Pops. From Katie. I'm helping my son lease or purchase a car in December. I'm considering using the Concierge service. When should I engage with CarEdge Concierge to ensure the deal in December? I would say you can sign up anytime between now and end of November. If you're signing up in December, we're probably going to be really, really, really swamped. I mean, we are making sure that we're prepared for that, but to make sure everything goes smoothly, I would sign up between now and the end of November. You can take advantage of what promotion we're running now and use it. Use the service later next month there into December. But Katie, I would time it up like that. Excited to help your son. And it's worth mentioning, the Concierge service works for leases, as well as CarEdge Prep, both work for leases. From John, what makes you, Zach and Ray, keeping up with car news, Probably because it's our job. I'd say at this point, it's our job. It's what we do. This is like our livelihoods. This is who we are. We inform the world about what's going on in the auto market. This is just who we are.
At least we attempt to.
We attempt to. This is just it's our lives. This is our lives.
It's what we live for.
From Larry, Dad, Hyundai Tucson 2026 SEL. How is performance and pricing, handling gas mileage, road noise? Give me a second, Dad. I'll pull up some data on this. But do you know anything about the Hyundai Tucson?
I do not.
Well, I needed a little filibuster, but
here, can I do a wrist check?
No, I already got it pulled up.
Son of a gun.
Here's what we've got on the Hyundai Tucson. Give me a second here. No target discount quite yet. MSRP ranges from $29,200 to $48,300. We can see the dealer invoice. I'm going to scroll down here, Dad. What trim level were we looking at? SEL. Look at that, Dad. So the SEL, the MSRP is $32,050. The invoice price, $30,768. So not a ton of markup on these vehicles. Ranks number 91 in terms of resale value, 27 miles per gallon. It's going to cost you about $44,814 to own the doggone thing. Got a couple community deals, but nothing too crazy from the discount side of things.
Well, it's brand new. It's
brand new.
Yeah.
Some good data here, though, that you can get back on the CarEdge
yes.
website. All right, now you can do a wrist check, Pops.
Okay, wrist check today. This is a Nixon, Nixon, Nixon field watch, quartz Japanese movement. It is what I would call a Ka, and that is a cheap ass watch. I think this whole thing was about $175. The quartz movement keeps good time. It's not particularly attractive, but it is green, and I wanted a green-faced watch. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
He's honest, not particularly attractive, but he knew what he wanted. Let's come back, Dad. Let's keep going through the Q&A. From Justice. Thank you, Justice. Where's the best place to get a Philly cheesesteak in Philadelphia, and what EV should I drive to get there? That's for you, Pops.
Well, I think the EV that you should drive to get there is your own, damn it. And I know you have one, and you just have to plan it out because it's, it on a map, it looks like it's far from Sacramento to Philadelphia, but when you're actually driving it'll only take a few days. There are any number of good places for cheesesteaks in Philadelphia. The best cheesesteak, from what I hear, I have not eaten there, but my son has, would be Angelo's. They have not only the best cheesesteaks in Philadelphia, they also have the best pizza in Philadelphia.
Yeah, Angelo's is incredible. Highly recommend everyone take a peek at Angelo's if you're in the Philly area. Holy cow, is their food delicious. Hey, well, Pops, let's call it a show for today. Again, if we can help y'all out with anything, check out our website. 6 years of doing this nonsense, folks, CarEdge.com. And I encourage you, if you're contemplating our car buying services, meet the team, meet the experts behind the scenes that we've worked with for years now. And of course, please, please, please book your free consultation to see if our services are a good fit for you. And as always, use the car buying research tools that we have. Click on CarEdge.com and then go to research or learn more about CarEdge Pro. But Pops, let's call it a show for today. I am on a flight to Los Angeles this afternoon. I have my first board meeting. For those of you that are curious, I joined the board of Lung Cancer Foundation of America. So lost my mom to lung cancer a long time ago, 8 years ago, and now get the privilege of being on the board of this organization, Dad, which is really awesome. You can meet the newest board members.
I was going to say, if you scroll down, we might actually see that handsome mug of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Pretty proud of you for that.
Yeah, super, super proud of this. Going to be really fun. We'll raise some money in my mom's memory later on this year. We typically do it for Massachusetts General Hospital. I think we'll do it for LCFA this year. And really exciting stuff. All we do, I got to get used to saying that. All we do is fund lung cancer research, Dad. That's all we're doing. All the donations go towards funding researchers. So I'm really proud of that. Got to get to know the researchers and oncologists that were trying to help my mom when she was doing early stage lung cancer trials. I'm thinking about what was her name? Dr. Lynn?
Dr. Lynn and Dr. Shaw.
Dr. Lynn and Dr. Shaw. Yeah. So Dr. Shaw actually used to be involved with LCFA. So it's really awesome. She used to be on their advisory board. So anyway, if anyone's interested, you can learn more about Lung Cancer Foundation of America right there. And yeah, flying to LA to have our first meeting. So really excited. They've been doing this. They've been doing this stuff for decades, man. What a privilege. What a privilege and an honor to be a part of it.
It's kind of like one of those unfortunate full circle moments.
Yeah, definitely. But you know what? Gonna work my butt off and try and help them out as much. Help us out. I gotta figure out how to say this.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
We're gonna bring more awareness to lung cancer research.
Yes, indeed, and we should.
All right, Dad. I love you. Enjoy the afternoon. Enjoy your live interview on News Nation in an hour, and I'll talk to you later on today.
Absolutely. Have a great flight, young man. And don't give any of the steward eye any crap.
See you guys.